This is something I need to get working on. A book. The title of the book, A Book on Life. The Chair. This is something that'll take me some time to finish and relates to my other work and remembering who I need to make sure I always remember, because this is the thing conjunction that could also save us all in a different way. Because the chair is that thing we sit on, but we forget about the word we're sitting on. And when it comes to commanding a chair, we gotta think about what we're linked together with that chair. And I'm not sure how to get this across quite yet, because this is just the beginning. Let's call this the draft. I'm trying to cut the link, all the damn links, because if you reconnect to the chair, you're just part of the system again. And when people try to change the meaning of a word, I'm just saying it's a chair, any chair. But the chair, it's a thing in which someone tries to sit on and tries to take control of the whole damn system too. But when they're smart and they realize that they can't be in control of something and they're stuck with the system that they're sitting on, they might try to become the chair. And then they try to change life. They try to be the life in which is all around them. And this is where I try to say, that's the chair. That's the links to all things else that says, what's the word behind the word the chair? What's behind that? How many names are we connected to? Let's try to think about something that we all may all know, or may get close to understanding. Stewie Griffin. How many people know Stewie Griffin? We're going to have to cut a link to Stewie Griffin. Is this chair? It links to Stewie Griffin. Let's say it does. And that link connects to other links, to other things, and to other things. And I try to think about how far this thing goes, because if you unplug from it, you can't unplug from life. You have to cut yourself from the chair and cut yourself from the link, but not from life. And this is where I begin my story for my house, for the house of the house. And I'm working on something that says this is a book for the house, a book on life. It's not holy. I'm making sure to understand. I don't know what that means. I don't know what people say it is. If it's truth, I don't know if that means what it only means, because it might be more things so holy. And I'm not going to get caught up on the word, but it's a book on life. The full title, A Book on Life, the chair. Because we got to figure out, are we rocking on it? Rocking in and rocking back? Is that rocking chair? Are we listening to rock too? Or is it just a rock I'm sitting on? Do you see how this thing links together? And a chair has an arm space. Sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes we're at a dinner table and we're sharing our words. And sometimes our words change through culture and times. And then sometimes some people try to change the words and we no longer hear the same words. And we may be talking to each other in words of confusion, like an old tower, so damn old that we forgot it was never that tall. If I know what I knew, and if the word Babel means confusion, why does everyone take it literally? Because we have to make sure what our words mean. And we have to be careful not to reassemble the chair, because the chair is always going to be there. And if we link it together, we just have to make sure what we're linking to, and for how long, and for what purposes. Because some things say, let's just make a new goddamn dictionary if we have to. Make sure this one stands tall and stays true. Because that's the fight I'm going for. Because when someone changes a word, they have to be careful what they're trying to change. Some things are for fun and laughter, but when things are getting too serious, and people are trying to figure out how to adapt and change, They don't want to change themselves. They want to change everything around them. Be careful with the words, because that word, did it change before you? Can you talk to your family? This is how far deep I had to go. I went so damn far that I had to find truth. I thought I had to dig for truth. I thought I had to swim for truth. I thought I had to clean out my closet for truth. All I had to do was sit there and start a campfire over here. Campfire is my thing. That's the thing I'm working on. To say, why did I go this way at all? Because I found something I thought was bread. And I had a question, is this the bread of life? Is this the bread from inside me that was fed one time on a parade deck in the military? Now I'm a guy saying maybe I can toast this stuff and pass it around too. And maybe help people learn what that stuff is and pass that stuff around, because I don't know if there's only one way of getting this stuff. Because the way I thought and what I learned from it was through a song on parade deck. And that guy taught me and fed me so well that I ate off it and I sucked up every piece of crumb and turned that shit around. Instead of trying to turn it from my own way, I had to turn it to toast. And I'm telling you, on this book of life, this is where I'm going to go with some of the stuff. Because a book on life, right, I got to fix that. A book on life. If I said the life, I have to omit that right there and edit that. Annotations with the audio over here to make sure people understand this book is my book and this is my record. I'm Travis Shore Scheidecker, and this is the life of which I've seen. If I did something of an oracle, I think I might be able to teach something sooner and quicker and faster. Because if I think of what I've seen, maybe I'm going to verse something says, how long do we have to have? I got to remember, I got to get to my notes. So I think I did something similar to what an oracle would say. What do they do? But it ain't quite like that. I got to get back to the notes. I ain't some mystical prophet over here. I'm just a human being like anyone else. If I do something that says it might help me understand and see perspectives, it's just a visual entertainment I have in my head. I got something called recall memory. I don't know what I saw when I saw what I saw. And I had checks. I had checks to make sure. And this is where dash, I need dash. I gave you something, I hope you still have it, because you're the one damn person that I have to go over with this stuff. Because if you aren't on this line, when we get to the end of the line, I have to figure out what happened to you. Where did you go? Because what I did was so real. So real, so real. I locked you in my heart, and I threw out the fucking key. I gave you a key, and I said I did more than that. It wasn't just a simple turn of what a code was. I had to get my heart right. I had to turn myself into something I wasn't. But part of me was that something of me in which I knew what my problem was. And if I have to say here what my problem was, I'll confess, and confess. I've had a lust problem. I ain't proud of it, but I'm making sure I understand. I'm here to share what my problems have been. I ain't perfect. Never been, never will. And if I get close to it, I don't know what that'll even look like. Because I never want to be something I never want to be. And that's just something that ain't me. I know what I had to do. And if any of this has anything to do with what I have to say, I got the top cat. I saw my 3 wise men. They weren't Jesus' wise men. And that's how fucking far I had to go, which I think I made sure to say. If I got this fucking far, I'm making sure to stay on a book of life called Book of Life, the chair. Because this has to do with the words we use. Life means so much to me in so many ways. I sacrificed my life in ways in which I didn't give it up. I had to go a different road to get to where I want to get to. And lion-hearted ain't quite me yet. If I get to where I want to be, the thing for me is my greatest treasure is the people around me. Because I see everyone so as unique. That's my treasure I found out today. I gave up my treasures. I gave up Dash. But I hid you away as well. And Sky was the other one. Everyone knows if they need to know, if they're asking. I did what I had to do. I knew what my problem was. And I knew what my problem was since I was a kid. Because there's things I wish I like. And I ain't. But I gotta say, I put my heart in God's hands. I gotta keep it there. I gotta laugh at it because I got things I wish it says. I got little quirks. I laugh at word times. I'm sorry if it's inappropriate to you. But I got things in which I haven't shared with people that it says as a backstory to things, and when I laugh, and you may not know what the full backstory is, so please make some effort to bear with me because I'm sharing things in which I hope will help you. And what I had to learn to be what I wanted to be is knowing what it feels like to be Humpty Dumpty, walking through life, being torn apart instead of falling off. Was it a wall into pieces of being torn apart while you're walking through life as you give your inches everything you got of your life into life, and then you're not longer as much as you were when you began, but you feel to be lesser of a man or lesser of a woman because bits and pieces of parts of you have been going different directions, and you've been leaving bits and pieces of parts of you as you've been turning against yourself for other people and being used against yourself. I'm here to say, I'm here to show and give as much as I can back out. Because the more and more I reassemble myself and defrag myself from the goddamn fucking matrix, I apologize. I swear I'm working on my etiquette so I can toast some things and work on some tasty food over here with nice sweet words and do the best I can. I got a few assets to work with right now. I want a phone that's running out of data space. And this is the thing I'm going to put on here. This is going to be that title. It's untitled. I'm working into a book. And I'll share as much as I can at the same time. But the first thing is to have a definition and a purpose and understanding what a definition is for. Don't turn against yourself. I got to work back and say, see what it is your actions do and what type of food you're trying to get out there. Because if you're going for a cigarette to numb the pain inside of you, or something like a cigarette, it might be called some type of candy out there. So I didn't forget about the candy man. That was the one thing I was told for something I had to do. I said he might be the one damn thing that saves us all. Because if I remember the candy man, that was the thing I heard. I said I need to remember the candy man. And I had to hide that thing away from me right there with you, Dash. Because if I got to the candy man, it meant I got to where I needed to be. And I turned my heart right. This is what this is about. Turning your heart right. Right for you. And only for you, not for me. Especially not for me. But most importantly, just for you. Your individual life. Because over here, I'm bringing you closer to life, as close as I can get. Because as far as I've gotten, I've got to say I have to stop at some point, and say, hey, I made it to bedrock. My bedrock. I'm going to start building. Because this is as far as I can go. I say this is as close to life that I can have gotten. I say, if I do what I do, it's turning into a guide on. I'm going to guide and do what I have to do. A guide that says I'm a light, in which I have a flame over here. And if there's anything, I think I'm orange and blue. I might be red and blue. It might change. We haven't quite figured out what the other side is quite yet, but it's been orange and blue for a while. We're going to stick for orange and blue right now. But I found Soulfire for myself. I'm Sapphire Soulfire Blue. That's my right hand. And that's my gauntlet over there too. And I know that road. I've been learning how Soulfire is. I gotta get to that road. Help people see what the construct that they're walking on when they say Soulfire. My Soulfire is one word. If you're saying Soulfire with two, we're on a different road. Or maybe on similar paths. So, I'm letting people understand what I'm trying to say with my book and what I'm trying to write. I'm an audio guy. I prefer to speak more than I want to do than write. Because sometimes writing's just so damn boring when I got an imagination I want to play with words. Because I want to get things out there in different ways. And I'm an audio guy since I would have done YouTube since 2006. I had to give that up for something that says I failed into. it was a sacrifice, which I kept going because I did one big one. I mixed a few voluntary programs I got involved in while I was in the military, and one of them had to do with helping Vietnam vets, I'm pretty sure, some type of veteran. The silhouettes, seeing things from the peripherals, and there's something else in there that I volunteered to as well. I went so far, so deep, I did some new things. I said, I'm on a clock, I gotta hit trike and hit on 2, like a tick-tock, 1 and 2. And if I gotta box back in from the center and get to my line and find people who will be with me, push back in, I might have something over here of a political party